Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squad for boxing news and views from around the internet. The WBC is being pushed by promoter Eddie Hearn to order Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte to fight for a WBC Diamond belt. Hearn has submitted to the sanctioning body, yes, let's put that belt on the line. Should they get past their next opponents, please order that fight. And Tyson Fury had said he would fight Dillian Whyte, but only for a Diamond belt. So we'll have to see what Fury would do and the WBC if in fact it will grant a Diamond belt being on the line. So let's talk about it. Buckle in. Let's go. So this whole situation regarding the possibility of Fury and Whyte fighting, it bubbled up when the WBC was thinking about ordering the two to fight in a final eliminator to be the next mandatory challenger to Deontay Wilder's WBC belt. Fury reacted negatively to that, saying, look, I'm not going to be dictated to. If I want to face Wilder, I will just face Wilder. But then he came out after that, obviously the WBC, which has been rather generous to Fury, it ranked him before, it allowed him to face Deontay Wilder, it ordered a rematch. So Fury sort of stepped back a little bit and said, well actually the WBC's been pretty good to me, but what I would do is face Dillian Whyte, but only if a Diamond belt was on the line.
I propose that we make me and Dillian Whyte for the WBC Diamond belt and not the interim belt. And I'll take care of Dillian Whyte and I'll knock him out within 6 rounds. I accept the challenge. Thank you very much. I'll fight Dillian Whyte every day of the week and twice on a Sunday, WBC. Make it for the Diamond belt, not the interim version, and you got a deal.
And the Diamond belt is effectively put on the line for two significant fighters that are effectively like champions within their weight class sort of thing. It represents a very significant fight, and the WBC doesn't really put these on the line all too often. At the moment, Tyson Fury doesn't have any hardware. He does lay claim to the lineal champion status, which he's been pushing ad nauseum, and that's his main marketing point on ESPN, that he is the man that beat the man, and this is what he's using to help sell his upcoming fight with Tom Schwartz. And he's also using his mouth to try sell that, mentioning all manner of other fighters, saying all manner of things in the lead up to that one. So Eddie Hearn, Dillian Whyte's promoter, has said, okay, look, you were looking to order this fight. He told IFL TV, just put the Diamond belt on the line. We're all good with that. We would like to have Whyte facing Fury. And when asked about the whole sort of, well, what about broadcasting issues? He said, well, that might not be an issue. It would probably go to purse bids. And if ESPN put up the biggest bid, well, Dillian Whyte would go fight on ESPN. That is where Tyson Fury is now fighting. He's got a co-promotional deal. That fight with Schwartz on June 15th is his first fight of that. So potentially he could face Dillian Whyte next if the WBC comes to play and orders the Diamond belt be on the line and those two get in the ring to square off for it. No guarantees that the WBC comes in behind that. But I think for many fans, because the Diamond belt and all these other trinkets that get put on the line, in the scheme of things, is it really that significant? I mean, the WBC and other sanctioning bodies lack a lot of credibility a lot of the time. So just to put it up, I think actually it's not too big a deal. But will they do that? And if they do that, will Tyson Fury actually follow through? Because he'd called out Dillian Whyte and Dillian Whyte responded immediately saying, okay, this is within hours of Tyson Fury calling him out very publicly saying, let's do it for the Diamond belt. Whyte responded and said, let's do it then. So if the WBC comes in behind and says, okay, we'll order this fight, it's for the Diamond belt, and it would probably also be default for the mandatory challenger for Deontay Wilder's WBC belt, then would Tyson Fury actually go through with it? And that's a big question, because he's been saying all manner of things regarding Whyte and other fighters, including Deontay Wilder. And he's been saying that Deontay Wilder can't duck him forever, that he can't avoid him forever, while he was the one that actually walked away from the rematch earlier this year, the rematch that had been ordered by the WBC. And you could have actually said that in that instance, the WBC could have sanctioned Fury to some extent, dropped him down the rankings or out of the rankings. But it hasn't really done that with fighters who've ignored orders of fighting in eliminators or ordered fights, that sort of thing. Dillian Whyte is an example. He didn't face Luis Ortiz last year when the WBC ordered the pair to fight. There was no sanction, whereas other sanctioning bodies like the IBF, they're very strict. Whyte Dominic Breazeale and Jarrell Miller all got dumped from the IBF rankings when they failed to take on Kubrat Pulev when that fight was ordered for the IBF final eliminator. So Fury has been giving it the big one on social media and in public about, that he is the lineal champion, that no man born from his mother can beat him, and that he will take on all comers. So if the WBC did put the diamond belt on the line as requested, would he take it? And he has said ahead of a rematch with Deontay Wilder, which he's saying that Wilder can't avoid forever, but then saying he's talking March or April next year, that's the dates he's been told. But ahead of that, he would have at least a couple of fights because, as he puts it, he wants to stay busy, he wants to stay active, and obviously on this lucrative deal with ESPN and Top Rank, he's going to get paid millions of dollars per fight. But would Dillian Whyte be fight number 2 in that schedule? And it's a question because it's a risky fight to some extent for Tyson Fury. Even though he's got the height and the reach, Whyte has proven that he's a dangerous fighter. He's been, knocking people out with that left hook. Could he do it on Fury? It's an open question. But Fury is obviously, by most fans, regarded as a slight cut above Dillian Whyte at the moment. Generally regarded in the top 3, whereas Whyte is on the outside looking in of that conversation for the most part. And the thing is, after June 15th, can Tyson Fury actually get away with fighting sort of what many would consider subpar opponents like Tom Schwarz? I know there's some people, especially Fury supporters, who say that Tom Schwarz is a very credible opponent because he's ranked number 2 in the WBO. But you look at the record, it's wafer thin. And I've been saying for quite a long time, ahead of this fight between Schwarz and Fury being made, that Tom Schwarz needs to step up. He needs to take a bigger step up. You can find these videos on the channel. There was one I did, Pretenders or Contenders, at the start of this year, basically saying we don't know how good this guy is because he hasn't stepped up to the level that he should for a guy with 20 plus fights and a ranking as high as it is. It's number 2 in the WBO at the moment. He's been constantly ranked in the WBO for the past couple of years and in or around the top 5 for about the past year. So it comes a point where he had to take a step up, and this is a massive leap up in class. And this is why many people look at this fight as a bit of a mismatch, that Tyson Fury, if he is in any decent condition, got anything left in the tank, as we saw against Deontay Wilder, he's got plenty left in the tank, he should be able to get past Tom Schwarz easily enough, and he probably puts on a bit of a boxing clinic. Maybe he will ultimately stop him in that fight. I could see Schwarz getting worn down from Tyson Fury, peppering him with jabs and other shots, and then maybe retiring about round 7 or round 8, something like that. Maybe it'll be similar to the Derek Chisora 2 performance where Fury just put on a masterclass. But after that fight, are fans going to be willing to just accept someone of a same caliber? Hardcore boxing fans are obviously examining the situation with his career very closely. Casuals, not so much. And Bob Arum has talked about putting him on ESPN, building him up, using the platform of Disney and ESPN, Disney owning ESPN, to try really make him a massive star. So they might be able to get away with at least one other sort of subpar fight, but be able to sort of sell it and pitch it on a certain level to try and get people interested in the United States in Tyson Fury. But I don't think fans in general who follow the sport to any extent will be very pleased if Fury goes out and fights another Tom Schwarz after June 15th. I don't think there'll be a lot of leeway, and I think a lot of the goodwill that Tyson Fury has built up after his performance against Deontay Wilder will be lost with fans. Already as it is, I think some of that glow that he built up from his performance against Deontay Wilder is starting to ebb away. He obviously pulled out of the rematch, took a massive contract with ESPN, walked away from an ordered rematch with Deontay Wilder. It would have been a very anticipated and a very big fight in the division. We didn't get it. He walked away for money. And, fighters getting their pay and all that sort of stuff, I don't begrudge them that. But when Fury's trying to now say that it's Wilder avoiding him, he can't avoid me forever. Some of those statements, you have to examine them and go, is that actually credible? And now that he's sort of called out Dillian Whyte very publicly, and Hearn is trying to call the bluff, saying, WBC, yeah, we're happy with this. Order that for the Diamond Belt. We'll take that. Fury is actually, his credibility to some extent will be put on the line here, because if he decides to, oh no, I'm not going to fight Dillian Whyte, well, then it was actually just proved as being all hot air, and he never wanted the fight if he walks away, because he said, I will only fight Whyte if this is on the line. So if it's on the line and it gets ordered, Well, he better take it, because I think a lot of fans will be disappointed if he doesn't, and his statements would have been proven to be just false, that it was all hot air, it was all profile, and probably some people will argue some of these comments are designed to build a bit of hype and buzz ahead of his fight with Tom Schwartz, because no one's really looking forward to that. But Fury keeping himself in the headlines, in the news, connected with an upcoming fight, it helps sort of promote that and sell it to some extent. Even though it's not directly selling that fight on June 15, it still gets mentioned in the same breath. What do you make of it all? If the WBC does order this Diamond belt, do you think Tyson Fury will take the fight? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.